Welcome, everybody, to the Mary and Joe Show. This is your awesome co-host with MsChronicChronicles, Marie Tarot 504. Welcome, my dear.
Good evening. How's everybody doing out there? I'm glad to be back tonight.
Yeah, you poor thing. Can you tell the listeners how you have been struggling with
retrograde has been kicking my ass. I've had internet issues. I've been sick.
I let her foot rest. I mean, her leg rest with the spider bite. That was the worst.
Oh my God. I got a spider bite on the back of my leg like a month ago. And the stupid thing hasn't drained still. Gone to the doctors. There's no infection because I actually know how to take care of my skin. But it has been insane. It has been a
painful, scary
mess.
Not good.
It's been a mess.
So, you guys, we have a fun episode tonight. We're going to be talking about all kinds of different stuff, randomness. It's very random, but we do have a few things planned. So, without further ado, let's get this podcast started, everybody.
Let's get this rolling.
The Mary and Joe Show. It's exactly what it sounds like. Basically, sharing a bit of the canna lifestyle with the coffee talk. You'll hear interviews, reviews on products, a bit of my own personal life experiences, and sharing on YouTube for over 10 years now, being active on the internet with my own chronic illnesses, and many interviews in the future, along with a dose of a normalcy. We are a community around the world, and I bring you this podcast to give you a normal place to enjoy your Mary and your Joe.
Welcome, everybody. Welcome.
Hello, everybody out there in cyber world.
I'm so happy you're back, my co-host. I was worried about your leg. I was.
Let's not talk about my leg anymore. I was like, oh my God, I'm really gonna have to be a pirate.
Seriously.
And then when I was on my trip to Colorado, and my friend that also lives in Colorado, not you, but the other one with a German Shepherd, bit my other leg. I was like, oh my gosh.
It's just a setup for disaster here with the Mercury retrograde.
This is why I have to go to the doctors, because I can't lose both legs. Like,
and I don't think you guys realize there are 7 planets in retrograde. Like, to say that out loud, that's rough.
I'm in hell. I'm in like, wow.
Yep. Let it be known we're all just surviving at this point.
Anybody else that's having a rough week, couple of times, this unfortunately doesn't end until October 2nd, right?
I have not wanted to go down the rabbit hole as much as possible.
You should look that up.
So you probably know more than I do.
And if you don't have this information, what am I supposed to do?
I know. As far as I do know, that this is going to be a transition. I thought it was supposed to go on a whole year. I thought we were going to have a whole year. Yeah, that's what I'm almost positive.
No, I thought it was October 11th. Look it up. I mean, October 2nd.
Okay.
Oh my God.
Here, send me a screenshot.
I don't have a screenshot.
All right. Let's look it up.
This is what my sources are telling me.
Mercury retrograde. September. I hate this. I hate it all. You're right. I'm wrong. This sucks. Okay. On September 9th, Mercury retrograde will retrograde for the third time in it's just obnoxious. In 2022. During this stretch, which ends on October 2nd, you will hear all sorts of things being blamed on planets of communication retrograde period. From technology mishaps to misunderstanding with friends and loved ones. Thankfully, I haven't had too much of that.
These people. I'm ready to straight up box them.
Like, see,
let's go.
I feel like Mercury retrogrades are good, but you know what? Really, I struggle with my Venus and Mars retrogrades, which is what we're in right now. Both of them are retrograde.
Oh, okay.
So then your masculine and your feminine energies are all fucked up.
So what does that mean? Anybody that you're meeting right now, anything that you're doing right now,
not real.
Not good?
Well,
Not
no,
real.
it's
not
not that
real.
it's not real.
Well, I'll tell
No.
you what.
No, it's more so like it kind of can't take its full energy leap. You know, we can't
So
really
this is
make
when like all your exes
festers.
from
Things
Texas be
fester.
trying to come back.
It's like, I don't know.
And that is why I reside in Tennessee.
I mean, retrogrades for me, I've always found them to be quite liberating. It's like it's kind of like it's like cleaning house. When you have a retrograde, you have the options to see things in a different perspective and to try to change your behaviors. That's just kind of what I feel. But it is a little like frustrating because retrogrades in general happen so often that it's like the pressure cooker. If you're not ready for the next hurricane, in a sense, you know, it's important. It's important though to let's see what signs will be affected by the Mercury retrograde. 7 things you should know about Mercury retrograde in the sign of Libra. Well, that's fun. The astrological event will impact behaviors you have or lack in life. Mercury retrograde will impact all zodiac signs, but Libra, Aries, and Gemini will feel it the most.
Oh wow.
I mean, I've just been
So
more.
you,
I'm a
my son,
Libra.
and my brother will feel it the most. I'm just coasting in this mug.
Yeah.
You didn't
I
give
don't
me my
know.
rising or my moon or sun.
I know. Okay, so let's open this up and see what else they have to say and educate us, folks. Why did it go away? Oh, I hate it when you have to like click, click, click. Bad resources
I don't
here.
know, but I'm glad to know that this part will end October 2nd. It seems
Right.
like a very far off in the distance, but I'm glad that it's coming because I'm really over this. And as I told you briefly earlier, I am hoping to go in. I told you I'm probably going to fly out. I'm that desperate to see. Like, I got to ground myself, maybe not. I don't know.
I'm
We'll
going
see
to
how
put this
goes.
article in the chat, guys. Go ahead. Sorry.
What did you say? Oh, you're putting the article for the...
Yeah, just so in case anybody wants to read further on Mercury retrogrades.
Oh, they're annoying.
I just feel like it kind of stirs the pot.
Bothersome.
No, but to take a plane ride in a Mercury retrograde, that can be scary. I mean,
in all reality, this time of year for me, like, okay, from basically July to like mid-October, which sucks, but it's just the way my life works. Every year has some crazy thing. And then around my birthday, so late April to like June, I'm wild. That's when I'll do my crazy stuff, like move across the country. Like, I don't know why.
November is when that happens.
But
November to January for me.
This
always
time
moving.
is always like dark night of the soul for me. It always has been. It always has been. Like, this is the season for me that, like, I'm like, what is wrong with me? Because it's still like sunny. It's starting to be we're kind of going into fall. So we're not like sweltering hot, even though I won't lie, babe, July and August are a nightmare. So that's why I feel
it was hot. Yes.
But I, unfortunately, not disclosing where I live at all, but moving to a different climate than back home has torn me apart. Like, into like my actual body. I'm not talking about.
You need a humidifier.
I have a
every
humidifier,
room.
girl. I have humidifiers.
It's like if you're
am a lizard, I'm an alligator. It is true. I am an alligator. I'm an 800-year-old alligator, apparently.
Her name is Marie Tarot 504.
Because turns out, surprise.
Right.
Because I am so dry, and everybody's like, your skin's so soft. Because it's been in water its whole life.
No, I mean, did you know that it is well known that Southern women actually get more or less wrinkles than other places in the United States due to the climate? The humidity affects the moisture in your skin, and we sweat more in the South.
I'm not trying to insult nobody here, but I know what our grandmothers look like.
Oh no, but the wrinkles happen. But from what I know is that
I hate to break
they have
it
softer
to you,
skin.
but
Everything. I'm gonna look into something and post on my
unless we're
Instagram
gonna
because I
step
know
up
for
our
a fact.
game at 70 and start Botox around then, we're gonna have wrinkles otherwise. But I'm thinking if we can make it, I'm serious, if we can make it to like 65, 70 and start Botox, then we got a fighting chance, girl.
I think I'll probably get my boobs lifted when I'm like 60. That'd be nice because you can enjoy it till you're 80, right? Should be able to keep them tight and then what? I don't want Botox. I don't even want
what? Yeah, that's because you ain't got no wrinkles yet. Then
you ease into being, like I've been saying, you ease into being like the Rose from Titanic and you get old.
I'm not going to get Botox today because that would be stupid, okay? Because I'm still rather young, okay?
Yeah, I don't understand the Botox and young stuff. I can't get it. As a woman, it doesn't, it's not sexy.
I have an aunt who started a little bit too young, but it's working for her. It is working for her out of all her siblings except for my dad because he's just graced by God. She looks great. Like, I mean, not like wonderfully great, but yeah, she doesn't have any
doesn't look her age. Is that what you're saying?
Well, she doesn't have any wrinkles.
She looks better than the average.
She looks better than the rest of them. There, I said it.
Yes. Sorry if I keep muting you guys. This is like the harshest bud I've been smoking in a hot minute. But I do want to point something out, even though it's just harsh because it's good. You know, if you're not smoking, you're not. Or if you're not choking, you're not smoking. Right? No, this is ice cream cake, indica dominant. But I posted something on my page. Yeah, let me show you guys this. Actually, can I do it here? I can. I'm going to bring something on the screen. It's just mind fucking. Like, speaking of insanity here, hold on. Is this the overlay? I hope it is.
We've got a lot of insanity going on in the
world. We
world.
do have a lot of insanity going on, but this is my receipt from the medicine I just got today. Girl.
Enough to make you want to
because we have to stop and have a moment with this. There's just no way else to put it. I mean, people out there, if you don't understand, I'm going to post two different ones. Give me 1 second. Now you can find this on my community post, but
you're talking about
the receipt, not the comments, but the receipt. I mean, I haven't had him respond yet, but I had posted something. Here we go. Can you guys see that okay? Probably not too close. But what you're looking at
that place is kind of cute. I just want to shout out Kind Castle. They're pretty cute little establishment.
They're gonna love this little shout out. Yes, I mean they're actually quite adorable. We'll do a whole showcase.
They are adorable. It's a cute little building.
Let me look up the picture of the front. Bear with me, guys. It's too good.
It is. It's adorable.
It's just wrong not to. They'd be like,
unfortunately, though,
they have a drawbridge.
It is adorable. I'm sure if I was a younger girl, I would think it was adorable too, which isn't good because
I hear you. Okay, let's bring this up. Let's get you a picture. No, it's actually a haunted house, believe it or not. And I've been in there many times and the lights have done crazy shit. But this is, why is it not doing it? Overlay doesn't help. That doesn't help. Sorry about that. Get it together now. All right, there we go. So this is the front. This is a drawbridge.
It's cute.
Oh, they're smoke. That's not right. Here we go. Inside. We go outside. Pictures, images. There we go. Okay, so see this is so funny because it's an old ass house. Yes, I am 21. Yes, I want to see your building. Let me see the outside about it. Really now? Okay, well, let's just do this. Specials. Let's look at prices. It's incredible. They're going to show it? I'm pretty sure they will. Because their ounces are, half ounces are like 35. Let's see. Specials. Online order.
I don't think it's going to let you see it. It's only let you see the front. But that's because it's web.
Oh.
Anyway, that's where we're at. Anyway, crazy. That's the building. And that's cute. But I will say, in this topic of that situation, it is becoming cheaper to buy in those areas.
Mm-hmm.
But
this is another one today.
Unfortunately, what they're doing in a lot of ways is by leaving it inaccessible to other towns. I mean, they're still going to have a lot of growers that are doing it illegally because that money's still there.
But this is the conversation I had with somebody I'm going to bring up on another episode when we're reviewing some edibles and whatnot, that the point of the matter with Colorado's prices, if we really look at that, that's $5 an eighth. And anywhere else in the world, that would be unheard of. It is unheard of. And it's not bad cannabis whatsoever. But the facts of it is, it's almost cheaper to buy it from a store than it is to even grow at your house majority of the time. And then when you think about it, us Coloradians, we really are only growing it if we can't afford even those prices, or if we want a specific strain. And that's just hardcore to think that we've come to that point. Like, I'm so happy, but I feel the pain of these other states that are barely getting there, you know? I don't know. That's just my rant for that one.
Right.
Because, I mean, when you pay 25, look at this, people. That is 2/8 and another 2/8. That's a half ounce for $25. I was paying $20 a gram.
Yeah.
So for the how much of, I mean, if you guys are listening in the chat, please put how much you guys have paid, because I find that just surreal. So I finally feel like I've reached the point where this is what I wanted. This is reasonable. I can handle prices like this, you know? And I also found out, I wonder if it's in here. Actually, I can put it in here. Hold on. Let me add something in, just really important to bring up. Now, I was told by somebody else that this could be an error in when it was effective, and I did go look into the legalization. Supposedly, Colorado workers in Colorado cannot be fired for off-the-clock cannabis use under newly signed legal legislation. Right, that's a huge improvement, because it's the personal and the private life. Like, you know, are we having our employers check how much we drink and who our social lives are? I don't know. It's a whole different world.
Like you crossing it over to legalization, you know, they've got to, I don't know. I mean, it's taken a long time, and I really wonder, because I do feel like, I will say, which, I mean, just some people, it really is people that tend to use it for recreational purposes strictly.
Right.
It affects them a bit differently. Like, there's a lot of high functioning that are just trying to get by, and, you know, we roll with the punches, you know?
Right.
And, I find that if you're not doing it for, I mean, and I'm talking about all across the board, like, there's people that do it to deal with mental health issues, and they're, you know, high functioning cannabis users. And then there's the people that are just strictly doing it for a high and tend to go to, I mean, and that's really why cannabis really gets the gateway drug whole thing, and why we're having such a problem with it going legal, because it really is affecting some people that don't need it at all and are just doing it for that high. They're not very high functioning, you see.
That's correct.
If you're looking for the high, it's not going to be functioning.
Right. I mean, like, it is possible to overdose on medication. I have overdosed on edibles before and had the same effect I would have from taking too many pain pills, or not like to overdose and die, but where you're sweating and you have to vomit it up, like your body's going to say no.
The only thing that the whole thing with cannabis is that you're not going to actually die from the overdose. But
it's considered a poison when it reaches the levels where your body makes it a toxic thing and it kicks it out. So if you've done too many dabs, you'll get a headache and go to sleep. Things like that. Like, your body will respond. You won't die. I mean, the biggest part that I have a problem with the industry as a whole right now is that it's the personal work environments, like, meaning I want to bring up another content creator, which I will in the future, very, very soon, who is actually on Instagram, and she's just a Colorado. She's very low numbers on her thing. I'm going to get a hold of her. But anyway, long story short, speaking out loud, she puts on her information on her Instagram. My work does not agree with my beliefs on cannabis, but I, on my off time, use cannabis. And that's beautiful. And that's what she writes. And she's in Colorado, but just so that nobody gets the wrong information from somebody being an advocate for it, which is the point. Like, are we going to be like, I drink wine? Like, I don't drink wine at night with my dinner, but there's plenty of people who do. Are we supposed to put that out? That's pretty sad. You know, for the recreational user, I'm saying, not for the medicinal user. That's not even to be speaking about. You can be activist or not at all, you know, keep it to yourself or whatever. But for the recreational user, yeah, it also does like push the industry. I've heard this from a previous episode I did. I'll link it in the bio of this description of the video and of the podcast, because I interviewed a budtender local to my town, and she made it real clear that you guys that came from the industry of wanting to get high can't expect an industry that's kept people well for a lot longer than people gotten high to actually have the levels that you guys are asking these fucking industries. And I hate to be crude, but to do that, it's not fair to the industry and to the people to ask them to go higher and higher and higher in percentages, because that's what people want. They want it in the edibles and the dabs. Flower concentrates are going, flower percentages are going up too with the request, but that's overbreeding a plant, and that takes away from the natural percentages that some genetics just hold, you know? So it's fucking with nature, you know, and too much. I don't know. But she was saying, you know, and I really, really will have to play an excerpt in the future, but she was saying that, you know, my budtender friend, that it is so hard to explain to somebody who wants to feel the intoxication that you would get from another drug and whatnot, who come into this industry and think they can find that, where it's not even reasonable, you know? But I don't know. I don't see on my news anywhere that we're having robberies or assaults, or what would be the others? Like motor vehicle accidents are not happening in my state. And Colorado's got a lot of people who are even not used to some of the percentages of cannabis, you know, and they come to our state and they stay in a little hotel, Airbnb, and they try it and they leave and they get their experience. Then there's others who come here because quite literally it's some of the best prices you can find. And I'll say, from being when I lived in California, it was always about quantity at high dollar. So it wasn't about quality so much, you know, it was just quantity, quantity, quantity. Colorado has always been about quality. Like, it's a whole different standard, you know. Are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Yeah,
no. I'm curious to see what, and you know, I'm right about this. I don't mean to be all crazy about it, but I'm curious to see what state wins in the next 5 years for being the best business model for cannabis in the United States. I wonder who's going to win, because it's been switching around. We had Oregon that was better than California for a while, and Colorado's, you know, just been, it's the hard part about Colorado. This is the negative. I'm sorry, I got to throw the negative out. We don't allow our CBD business to really affect our THC business. They're totally separate businesses. But if you really think of the medical benefits, they should be in the same store. Yes, they're in the products, but you cannot buy it separately. So it's kind of silly the way the laws are. Like, it's preventing, because people don't realize you can take some cannabis, regular, THC flower, and add some CBD to it and actually make it supercharged.
Nice.
It actually will have more medical benefits, you know? So in my edible and empties review video that I do very soon, we'll be talking about all the science behind all that. But yeah, I don't know. I mean,
it's crazy. I can't wait to do more research with you in the future.
for real. Yeah, I mean, it's just, I don't know. Do you think that, here's a funny question. Do you think that cannabis should be available for like the nursing homes and whatnot instead of using pharmaceuticals, maybe?
I mean, in a way, but I guess it would have to be an edible form because a lot of people, once you get older, your lungs, a lot of people wouldn't be able to handle it. And not
Right.
only that, it seems like the older generation, there's a lot that are okay with it, but there's a lot that really aren't, that are stuck in certain ways. You see what I mean?
So do you think that that could be our future? We're going to be that
I
generation.
mean,
It's going to be like,
it's a strong. I don't know about you, but
that's
I
a
ain't
strong
trying to go.
possibility. Think
I
about
ain't
that.
trying to go to no nursing home.
I'm not either, but you know what? I would love to see that be the future instead of it's just, I don't know. Lots of things to talk about, lots of things to think about, you guys. Please put some comments. Aw. My phone is blowing up from a special person.
I wonder who.
I wonder who too. But yes. Okay, so guys, let's take this whole ride to another fun little land. Get in this spaceship with
where are we
me.
going now?
Sound effects. All right. Yeah, that's low budget up in here. Okay. All right. So we have had like a mind. What's the word? A coming of minds. That's what we've had. A coming of minds. And we've decided that we're going to start doing episodes in the future very, very soon. Probably, who knows when, very soon. About lyrics through discussion and discussions, conversations through lyrics. So we'll be bringing up conversations just through like excerpts of little parts of artists. Maybe you guys have never heard the song. Maybe you know it completely, every single word. But we want to bring up discussions with it.
And I also want to say, if you have some, leave them down below or send an email or whatever you got to do on all the stuff below, because we definitely do want to hear yours. I know music is a big part of my life, and I believe it's a huge part of your life as well. And we have definitely just listening to the reviews, and I mean, I know a lot about your history and stuff, but just really realizing how intertwined our lives have been. And I think that's why we understand each other on such a deep level, because we've both dealt with illness, physically and emotionally, and the childhood trauma that we've experienced.
Right.
There's just a lot of different things that
Music's
I can see
got
what
us through.
the connection is through. And I know even when we were younger, you know, high school times and stuff, you and I were very connected on music, and it was all over the
100%.
place. So we will
100%.
probably definitely bring a lot of different genres, a lot of different feelings, emotions, and
memories and
since we don't want
stories to
be
go.
copyrighted.
Right.
We're not going to play the songs, but we will definitely say, artist names and, just
Link
some
it.
lyrical cues, not the whole song.
No.
And then we're going to just kind of give our feelings or thoughts, and it's not just personal. I know for you also, music speaks in so many different ways, and you can almost feel that person that's putting that music out. I know one of my greatest inspirations as an artist is Erykah Badu. I absolutely love
I can't
her.
wait.
And it has touched many times. I just want to say I've seen her on her
shout
day. I am very, very touched by her and a lot of her feelings that she puts out in her music. I mean, she is definitely a true artist. They're just able to move you. And there's a lot of smaller artists that haven't really been recognized that I hope that you and I can bring to the table and just show they have meaning as well.
I can't wait to say the reason why certain songs changed my life. Like, there's immediately when you were just saying all that when we were growing up and whatnot, I know Smashing Pumpkins was one of them for me. Air was one
Sometimes
of them
I
for
feel
me.
like a rat in a
No
cage. I won't
doubt.
even lie. I know we're not giving too much lyrical
Warren
stuff.
G, Mound Up.
Oh, Lord.
A little bit taller. I wish it was a little bit,
I
all
wish
the
I was a
things.
baller. Wish I had a
Yes.
girl, because then I'd
Right.
follow. Wish I had a rabbit in a hat with a bat.
Right. My mind's telling me no, but my body's. Remember how many times we'd scream?
We're
that in
not
the car?
singers. That's why you don't hear us. That's not why we are not going to have open mic night here. Okay?
No, but I might accidentally sing. Okay. But honestly, I think it would be fun because we all understand that universal thing that music does to us. It's literally energy.
And if you don't
sound.
understand it,
it's vibration.
You're
it's
not
real.
living.
No, and maybe this isn't the channel for you. Like, we're not going to try to convince you. I had a lovely comment that you don't even know about, Marie, but I might as well shout it out that they didn't understand why anybody who's speaking about cannabis would speak about religion or anything else. Well, it's because cannabis isn't the only thing I talk about here on my channel. And if it isn't for you, that's totally fine, because there's a lot of things to digest. So maybe you find someone who keeps you in your small little baby gate. Otherwise, we appreciate like all the input, all the 2 cents that we get from all the new listeners. And like, when it really comes down to why we want to touch on music, is that it's so been healing to us. And we feel like, why wouldn't we? If you know something that can help someone, and it has helped you personally, now it's almost criminal not to share that kind of wealth. I'm just saying. So, hold on one second. I was going to say, I wish that video you had sent me earlier we could play, but it doesn't have, it has, yeah, and it's in his voice. But what was the title of that one? Because that's a good reference to like what we want. I don't know which video
you're talking about.
The Kevin Gates one.
Okay. I'm not sure what the title is. Hold on. Let me go through our let me go through our messages. Give me 1 second. I'll be right back.
No problem.
Oh my God.
And then there was another
won't even
song.
lie. I don't know how y'all are about memes, but I've sent some hilarious.
Oh, well, let me see. I think I screenshotted it. That neck one.
Okay. I love you, but I love me more. Kevin Gates.
Yes.
Okay. I think that it's very, very touching. Look, Kevin Gates, he's controversial. I'll give you that, and all of this. He is from Louisiana. I don't know if you know that.
I didn't know that. Oh my God.
He is, if you really listen to him, he is very smart. He is very smart. I know that they have an adult video going around that people said he didn't really bring it home like he says he does in his music, but I haven't seen the video, so I can't really say. He does seem, he thinks, and I love that. I love that. And if you really take it all in,
if you want it to reference any of it, it's up to you. Go ahead. Sorry about that.
Oh, you just sent me something.
In case you wanted to read it. Isn't that it? Am I reading the wrong one? Oh, geez.
Okay, here we go. Women love too early and men love too late. And now your promises, they just suffocate. How many times have you not had this? See, the thing is about the difference between men and women is that, in my personal opinion, I am not a doctor, but I don't know if you'll agree with me, but it seems like we're willing to give it that whole, what is it going to be from jump, right? And then once we decide that you're not serious about it, and I mean, this is very early on. I'm not speaking for all women as well. I know there's a bunch of women that are like saving themselves and stuff. I'm talking about, and I ain't trying to be slut shamed on here, but we will categorize you quick as, is this going to move further, or are you being friend zone that I'm just going to, let you break my back, baby? You know what I'm saying? And move along. I mean, where are we going with it? And I feel like women tend to love too early and men tend to love too late. And that's why all your promises suffocate, because once the men are willing to give it, the women are like, yeah, okay. But if you've already turned us off somewhere in the beginning, we're off. Would you not agree?
100%. I'm sorry, and I sent you the wrong one. I didn't realize that. I apologize. No, I mean, it's the internet, TV, our parents, and the Bible all told us how we're supposed to love. That isn't right.
And that is foolish, because that's another thing I read somewhere, and I can't quote it at all. So this is just my own personal.
Right.
You know, the funny thing is, we were taught that the concept of love just has to be between two people.
Right.
And that's not really what it is, you know.
Just love everybody, aren't you? Is that what you're saying?
I guess in a sense, but even like, I don't know exactly what you're putting out here with what your lifestyle or what you are comfortable with, but
I'll speak on it.
Not
You just
everybody is going to just love one partner in that sense.
Right.
You see what I mean?
Right.
And I think that it's crazy the way that culturally we're moving on, that's not the norm, the polyamorous or whatever, the polygamy, where the people are marrying and, you know, they're doing it underground. And then, but I mean, like, we're moving along. I'm so glad that gay marriage and things like that is going on, but why isn't polygamy okay?
Right. It is made extra religious.
What's going on if somebody wants to be polyamorous and have multiple, but they want to live by themselves? Why is this not okay to be the social norm, but it's okay at 6 years old for your baby to want to be a girl or a boy, that they weren't born that, and that's okay, and we need to put it on a talk show and talk about it? How is that okay, but this isn't okay? Do you see what I mean?
Okay, so I'm going to do this the most PC way I can. Some people who are listening understand and others don't. I've gotten more and more comfortable as I'm going on 6 years that I've been this way, as you know. And if people don't know, let me make it very clear. I'm polyamorous. I don't see relationships make sense to be committed by marriage to make them make sense. I have found myself the most healthy mentally and physically, and all the other ways that you can be in a relationship, with a healthy, open, diverse conversation, diverse conversation of what you want and don't want in your life. And I do not think that my ideas or beliefs make sense for everybody, but in time I have found that, and just hear me out because it's hard to say it and I've never been public about it. It's more private, people know. But I wholeheartedly believe I get more excited about knowing someone really does love me rather than they wrote it on a contract. I get more excited knowing someone really wants me in their life if they actually prove it with the real memories we make together. Because I don't think anyone should stay in for me, I don't. For me, I don't want to stay in a relationship or have that person who says they love me stay in a relationship if they don't fully find their happiness with me. It makes no sense to cheat. I hate cheaters, but I don't think it's cheating to actually,
if it's an open dialogue,
are open. I don't believe in swinging though. I don't believe in home wrecking either. So I believe in it's polyamory can be polyamory is what I am. I'm polyamorous. I mean polyamorous. I'm polyamorous.
So let me ask you.
But polyamory is of a female who the main person in the relationship, and then has others with others, and then we all have relationships together. That's what I believe in. Sorry, go ahead. What's your question?
So you believe that separate and together, so you would be comfortable. See, the thing is, and I'm not against it, but everybody has a sexual preference, and what you do behind closed doors, that's your business, baby. Like, I really, and I want to say that, like, as long as it's not like little kids or dead bodies, which
And it
We're
also is
probably gonna
about
touch
being
up.
sexually clean. I mean, if you're literally going out there and this is a serious statement. I've only heard this on one video. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but this is a serious conversation. I have only one time seen someone public explain it like this. When you're and I want you guys to listen because there's such miscommunication. If you are saying you are polyamorous so you can have multiple partners, then you should not be in any relationship, okay? But if you are saying that you are polyamorous because you have the heart and want to actually feel real love and want to feel real communication and connection, like I actually have felt more polyamor-ish, IES or ISH-ish,
Yeah.
polyamor-ish is cheating. If you are out there saying to your mate, I will only be with you because you're going to let me be with someone else, you're a slime bag. It should be a mutual decision. And honestly, if someone's uncomfortable, then everybody should be uncomfortable. That is a polyamorous relationship. And I've had it for 6 years off and on. Extremely never. I don't think I mean, I could probably be with someone as a main partner for the rest of my life, but I don't, and it's not sexual. It's more so mental. I cannot expect my mate to have all the same likes, dislikes, and interests and feel completely fulfilled in all the ways I want to in a relationship in a monogamous relationship. I cannot find that in my life. I figured that out. It's hard. I'm sure abuse
I'm
is
still
why I'm
trying to
like
walk
that.
over the rainbow. But again, I
Hard. And I'm
definitely
not into women, so it's really hard.
right, not
Because
into
it's
women
like,
at all. And
I'm not.
again,
Yeah.
everybody has a sexual preference, and I'm not against anybody. You could like the same sex. You could like a purple person. I mean, I don't care. Whatever you like. It's
Right.
your business. Don't push it on to me. I don't like that.
I
But
think the hardest, and I don't mean to, I'm sorry, this is a hard episode for us, for me. I'm not going to take it down. I'm not going to take it down, but it's facts. I think the best thing I ever did was not getting married, because not only did I say it in high school, or did I not, or did I say that I was going to run from my first marriage? Did I not? I was like, I'm going to go out the window.
I don't remember.
Oh, I said it all the time. All the freaking time.
I don't remember.
I just
I was dealing with my own stuff then.
I remember seeing that the Runaway Bride movie, and I was like, I get her. I was very young, and I was like, oh, I think that might happen. That might happen. So, because I trapped. It's like cold feet before you ever really gotten. And so I was I was personally in relationships or like almost into marriage, but now I'm like, I'm so glad I would hate to be a divorcee and then live this lifestyle. I'm so glad I'm not. I'm so glad I'm sure who I am. Like, it's crazy to say that.
I don't think that if you were a divorcee, you wouldn't be sure who you were.
No, I would think I would feel horrible living this lifestyle then. It would be like, is this all I got? No, this is the lifestyle I chose without a trauma.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
I think everybody has a preference, and what you are, no matter what. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of people that they, in their earlier years, think that they're in love and they marry, a man or a woman, and then it turns out 15 years later or 5 years, 2 years later, they realize this isn't really me, and they get divorced, and then they live their lives, with the same sex or a different sex, or they decide that they are polyamorous or is or whatever you said.
Yes, right.
But I don't want to correct anything, but
right.
I will say what is confusing to me is that, what is it? Is it pansexual, where they love anything? What does that mean?
Okay, we have to look it up,
What
because
does
I'm
that
so
mean?
uneducated. It's not even funny. When it comes,
I don't know if that's what that one means, but there's one that's like they love any object, and the thing is like, you can love anything, but we're talking about your sexuality.
Yeah, it's a good question here.
You know what I'm saying? So then I'm like,
it's a good point. Actually, it's a very good point.
And I'm not trying to be like,
no, that's the problem, is that we want to be educated.
What that means.
Right. There's the definition. Hold on. My
Okay,
screen
so that's
big.
good. So they just
Here, I'm gonna look
is
up
sexual, romantic, or yeah. So that makes sense. They just like anything. They're gender blind.
Yes. So there's so many different types of polyamorous relationships. Hold on. Polyamorous types. And this is where, okay, there we go.
Wait.
Thank you.
Okay.
I love this girl. I've seen her before. Where's the info? Jesus Christ. All right. So it's an anchor partner is what I was saying. Like, I could definitely have an anchor partner and live the rest of my life and be happy. And I had that, I had that for 5 years. It was the most 4 or 5 years. I was healthy. It was crazy. I was like, wow, this is real love. Where you're like actually happy. You're actually really happy. A triad, which is 3 people. That could be that person lives with you and whatnot. Hold on. Quad is 4. Hold on.
I don't know. That's kind of hard for me.
It's okay.
A tidge too controlling for that. Just a tidge.
See, and that's the funny part is I never really was controlling. So I think that's why the lifestyle makes more sense. This is a horrible example because it's all overdone.
Personally,
here we go. A parallel poly. A parallel poly is a term that describes relationship structure in which members have no interest in meeting each other or others being emotionally involved. That's how that's not a swinger situation. That wouldn't fall in that category because this is 100% like where sometimes you can have the main partner. Actually, this is the most interesting part. What we just saw about how you can have your anchor partner, right? Your anchor partner could be seriously monogamous, but he's fine with you sleeping with other people or having relationships. Yeah. And then or it's this parallel polyamory, which is a whole nother where that's the jealousy aspect in the structure where there's like, I don't want to know. Da, 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 da. I'm on the complete opposite. I'm like, what do they look like? What are we talking about? Why is this, And it's so nice to have an open conversation where before, and I think this truly, I was cheated on a lot. Like for no reason. I could have easily been like, oh yeah, that's awesome. You go have fun. I will never talk to you again if you don't want me to. Otherwise, call me. Straight up, right? Like that's hard for some people to understand.
Right, because
that's a hard
ready to hurt somebody, but
right.
But I have also had relationships where like we went into it knowing that this wasn't, like I said earlier, like you place it on a hierarchy from the very beginning,
See, I like kitchen table polyamory. This is 100% what my I think it's great. Refers to a style of polyamorous relationship in which the interrelationship of network and the integration of the multiple relationships into one life or group is prioritized. And that's it's such a positive thing. I don't think I could live with a bunch of people though. Actually, I don't think I could live with anybody. Which is even weirder. Like, I don't know, maybe I'll get that anchor one day I want to, but otherwise it's a strange scenario. Okay, what is a unicorn partner? That's a swinger. Describes a person who joins a couple as their third partner for sex or even for something more committed. What is a paramour? A lover. In a polyamory, you have a romantic relationship with one or more lovers. These lovers may or may not have romantic or platonic relationships with each other. What is lap sitting polyamory?
What the fuck?
Why do we name it like that? Okay.
I don't know.
I feel yucky. We need a shower. Okay. Essentially one in which you are expected to not only be comfortable enough to be sitting at the kitchen table with your mentor, but instead you're expected to sit on their lap.
Oh, okay.
What is that? I don't even. That's an extra added. That doesn't seem. What in the hell?
I don't know, you lost me. But again,
Yeah.
no judgment to y'all out there that live that lifestyle. Again, what
So
you
now
do is
everybody
your business.
knows.
Just don't push it on me.
Right. And I consider myself like as a polyamorous person, I almost think in my brain like I'm never single technically. It's because like whenever I feel a relationship is developing or has happened, then it's happened. Otherwise, I don't like booty calls unless they really, really make sense because that's emotionally draining. Like I got too much in my life. I want real relationships, real connection, you know, but I love the idea of someone finding someone better than me. If that happens, awesome. That's what should happen. Life's too freaking short.
I'm the opposite. I'm so like, wow.
Oh, really?
Wow, my devil horns are coming out. I'm like,
say it. It's okay. Just don't do it to me.
Good luck, bitch.
That's how my ex felt. What you
I'm
just
sorry.
said.
Don't bleep that out.
No, you're okay. You're okay. Say it. Say it.
No, go ahead. You say
No,
it, Rachel. I taught you well. What's the saying?
What was your rebuttal to that? Feel with that? Why do you feel that way?
Why do I feel what way?
Because I said that. What?
Because I'm the best.
Oh, because you're the best. Yes.
I'm sorry. I don't understand the question.
See, and for me, and I'm always like, you'll be back. Because, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and then I'm like, I don't know if I want you back. That's what happens. Sorry,
but
guys.
that's how it all goes down the drain.
Yes, we just told the truth.
That's where it is because I'm really quick to make my decision, and like I have a tendency to want to be Captain Save a bitch, but
right.
You know, I like the wounded bird. You know, I like them to look really rough on the outside, but
me too. It's unfortunate.
I want to touch their little wounded bird area. You know,
right. Just don't hit your head. You better have a head, like an actual brain.
Oh, I was like, yeah, you better have a head. You know? That's a requirement. Jesus. Okay.
Well, experience says a lot. We both went through this.
But I don't know, because of the type of woman that I am and the way that I am in my relationships, like if I love you, I'm going all the way out for you. You know what I mean? And I'm gonna stand with you through it and support you. But I'm also one that likes monogamous relationships, or I ain't got no need for you. You know, and I mean, I have no problem. Like I've dated people. You know, I'm not gonna say that that's not happened, but generally, I mean, if you look at my track record,
right,
most of the time I'm in a committed relationship. If I'm
they're
really,
like, where do I sign up?
Right, like let me sign the dotted line. Sure, you can have my soul.
How do I hold you
I'm an
down,
800-year-old alligator. Are you sure?
Right. Can you be mine? Only mine? Can everybody stop looking your way? That's what they do to you. I'm just saying the truth.
I don't know. I can try.
Right.
No, I don't know. I think that I just the way that I am, like, you're like, oh, you can move on. You know, I want them to find something better. You shouldn't put yourself down like that. Look at yourself, girl.
I know.
You got to love yourself. Like,
well, you know,
I'll be personally real. Like, I'm too much of a woman for a lot of men, you know, and I've come to terms with that. I was raised by a man, so my tendencies are a bit different, definitely, because I didn't have that female influence, but at the same time, I'm still a woman, you know, so I'm always going to be a woman, but I know how to stand on my own 2 feet, and that's not to take anything away from women that were raised by women, you know, you also know how to stand on your 2 feet, you know, right. But I just think that how you can get any better than this? Get the fuck out of here.
I gotta say that, don't you think we've had these conversations many times when we were younger, and I'm about to bring out the old nostalgia in your brain, and you're about to say the same shit. I know it. We have always been, as even younger, like 16-year-olds, like straight up a force to be reckoned with. When someone is into us, it's not like it's kind of like you're not supposed to try. It's supposed to come to you. We've always believed, like, it's manifesting through relationships. So, like, wouldn't you agree that the dawn of time in our situations. It's just like men are threatened by strong women a lot of the time. So like when we do meet someone who's like, oh, I like your vibes, whatever, me and you have 100%. We only like talk to people who are like, can match our energy. It doesn't last otherwise, you know?
Yeah, you gotta match my energy or basically tackle me. You know, like, or I don't even see you. I don't even notice you. There are so many people, and that's horrible, but that's just the way I am, and I probably do it even now. I just don't see people. I don't see people. You say names to me all the time, and you send me pictures of people that we apparently went to high school with, and I'm like, whoa.
Right.
Never saw that person a day in my life. You know?
No,
like,
you 100%, and this isn't any saltiness here, but you 100% had visors on. You were doing your thing, you were focused, you know, and I mean, besides us enjoying like the lakefront and whatnot, and the occasional pool parties, which were fun. I miss those
dude,
days.
I was really with my dad. You know, I mean, my dad was still young. My dad had me when he was 22. You know, he was young, and my dad was a partier, man. We were doing the damn thing. We would go to the lakefront, and we would go out to festivals. And I mean, New Orleans has festivals all the time. I mean, I really, really loved my childhood because he made it that way, you know. So I didn't spend a lot of time. He didn't have to worry about me being out doing crazy, reckless things because I was with him, you know.
Right. Welcome, Drunk. Thank you so much for being in the chat tonight. No, I honestly didn't go to like parades and stuff much. I was really not allowed to when I was in in high school. I
See, I
wasn't.
went to all the
She was
parades with my
religious
dad,
about it.
and
I
like
didn't get to do it.
he was like, "Get on my shoulders, Shell," and I was like, "Hell yeah, that's super safe." You know?
Right.
I will.
But I mean, listen, I'm gonna spill a little bit of the beans. We were the kind of this is my own perspective. This doesn't hurt anybody. We're not hurting anybody's feelings, okay? But what you could do in New Orleans, and I probably said this in an episode before, but not in this detail. What you could do in New Orleans as like a 15, 14, give me your own perspective after, okay?
Okay.
But from 14 to 21, from no, 14 to 18, because before you're able to drink, you pretty much still could drink. That's the thing. And
Definitely.
right, number one. So 14 to let's say 21, drinking. All right. That's something you could do. Find it, not by yourself, but it wasn't ever encouraged to do by yourself, which is good. Good things. But it was drink, hang out and eat food at a restaurant, go race your car around the town 50 billion times because that's all you got to do. Follow your friends in the night, play music loud. Go to a friend's house, play pool. Go to a pool hall, which I fucking love those days. Go to a pool hall, listen to music, hang out with friends. Go to the lakefront, listen to music, show off your car, make out with someone. Not that wasn't our crew, but you know, sometimes they were.
We had some individuals.
We had some episodes. I mean, so, and then, what? Meet up. Like you just meet up with other people. You'd be driving what? I don't even know what the road is. It runs along the levee towards St. Rose. What's the streets? All those old areas. Yeah, I don't know if it's Airline.
Yeah,
but it like they have all these like old little bars, and that's the other thing. Bars, you go to the parking lot of the bar, you're not able to drink. Well, straight up, everybody's still hanging out. It's a city of not just a community, but like an idea of you're supposed to just say hello to a stranger. So when I finally was 21 and older and going into bars, when I finally did live back in New Orleans, back in my mid 20s, I was like 26 when I moved back. I mean, I don't know how else to say this. It's strange for me to say it out loud because you didn't experience this with me, but I would get so drunk and you wake up drunk and you're like, driving your car, vomiting out the side of the fucking window.
Oh, geez.
Opening the door and driving. Like, because, it's like that. Like, if the party wasn't supposed to end till what, 4 or 5 in the morning sometimes? What's the latest you ever partied in NOLA?
There were plenty of times that I had to just ride it out because I had stayed up too late, so I would just have to go to work.
Holy fuck, girl.
Yeah, it sucked.
Did you ever talk out loud where you're like, wake the fuck up, sober up, get it together now?
About a million times.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, the only time, okay, the frat boys and things like that exist in around the Tulane area. I'm talking about all those little bars.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's Tulane. Maybe it's not UNO. But anyway, the frat guys, all the other people, it's sometimes a tourist who's a frat guy from another fucking state because they came to New Orleans because you drink in New Orleans. So it's like you've already got that energy from its own locals who might be alcoholics, young, right? Yeah. Wouldn't you agree?
Definitely.
Okay. And then you've got the other environment of people who are just social. So it's like it's culturally culturally encouraged to be social, and it's the core of like the city itself, like the Italians, the French, the Germans, all up in our city in New Orleans. When you agree, like I say, it's culturally to be social like that. Those types of people. I mean, I don't know. Have you ever went to any of the bars in the West Bank? Because that's some funny moments I had meeting people. We're talking about relations here and stuff like that. Like meeting people in New Orleans.
I haven't really been to many bars on the West Bank. I can't lie.
Oh my gosh. Strange. Very strange. Like one of them, it felt like a straight up mob bar. Like it was set up with black and red, like the style, so it's like that Italian booth looking moment. But then the girls came out and I was like, am I in a strip club? I mean, like it didn't have any advertisement. It looked so like grandma could come on in from the outside, so it's just the strangest. And then some of the did you ever go to the lock-ins back in the day where we were teenagers and we would go where the bands would play?
Yeah,
you did?
What was going on with that? What was really going on there?
Right. Okay. Could you give me your analogy on that? Because I'll explain it if you want, like how it looked.
You go ahead. I'm not going to say too much. I'll say.
Okay. Well, you give me your input.
I probably wouldn't let my kid go to a lock-in.
Right. Okay. So lock-ins were like a building. Okay. So like for you West Coast people, it would be the analogy of like a building, a warehouse. Everybody just piles in. There's not a single window. You don't know there's something going on. There's no lights on the outside. There's vehicles everywhere, but it's quiet from the outside. Yeah, there might be people smoking cigarettes and stuff outside, but there's no crazy shit going on outside. You get into the building, it's a raging party. Like it's basically, it's the French Quarter. You're elbow to elbow. It's a mosh pit, basically. A door with the mosh pit, right? Wouldn't you say? It's kind of like that. Everybody goes, that can't be safe, how much fucking air we were sucking. But you go in and it's like, they had like a lot of people from our school, wasn't it? That had little bands and whatnot that were playing there, or I mean, they were all just indie bands. And it's funny because that community, I don't remember being very strong. Like the punk community, they might have existed in their clothing and whatnot, but the garage band thing wasn't happening. No, and everybody's right. It's more so you'd see someone like writing lyrics down on a piece of paper in the classroom, and they're actually freaking talented. And now we know some,
Yeah.
Right. Like they weren't, I don't know, posers. That's the word I'm trying to use. Posers existed. And I'm going to use this as a really good talking point. Poser existed in like what was around us. We had the malls and whatnot that would like encourage people to be a certain trendy kind of way. I was just mentioning to our friend Mac today that I said, did you ever experience like the Hot Topic kids? Like that would have been an example of like a goth kid or an emo kid in another state. You'd call it like that, or a poser is what we saw them, right?
Yeah, even though I did wear some hot
But
tops.
you didn't. Okay, you might have wore it, but did you try to become the brand because it made
No.
you right?
No.
So that was why, in my personal memory, and I want to bring this really clear to the surface because it exists with relationships. That was my first introduction where somebody could wear an item and act like they were the brand, and it was disgusting to me. So when I had a relationship where this person had so much money, they could, I mean, I had a conversation. I was like, it's like, you look so good. Where'd you get that shirt? Where'd you get that? And he really wanted to know because he cared about brands and stuff. And he was shocked that everything I had on was either thrift or whatever else. And then he tells me, girl, and I did not know. He's like, girl, I'm wearing $700 worth of such and such and such. And I think maybe even more than that, like $1,500 or something like that. And he's like, and I look at it and I'm like, oh shit, that's true. Okay. Didn't even notice. So I didn't feed into that shit, like mentally to look for that in a mate. Like, do you know what I'm saying?
Really been into that shit.
Right.
Like
I don't know.
I honestly just don't. I don't see the point. I don't see the point. Why are we wasting our money on that? This fabric is just as good. You know what I mean? And I just like certain things. I don't think a lot of this stuff that everybody's wearing is attractive. I mean, to me, but I'm also not trying to judge anybody. You know, I'm definitely not a walkway model here.
Right.
You know,
Hey,
I'm not
you
with the
got it,
latest
girl.
trends. My stuff is pretty wild most of the time, or I look homeless. Yeah.
Hey,
So,
I stick to a few things. I like my
I don't
lace.
know. I've always liked funky style, like a funky hippie style, and I tend to like all of my friends. If you look at my whole lineup, that's what I like different. I don't like
Yes.
what's current. I don't like. I want
Retro.
you to have your style, and it to always be your style. And of course, it'll evolve, but it's always you. It's not what's
Right.
going on, what's trendy, And all of my lifelong friends, I will say, are it's a type because that's me. You know.
Right. I felt like over time living, actually, that's the honest truth. Louisiana definitely changed me from starting off from being a materialistic person because that was what was shown. And when I lived in California, dating in that world and finding people who maybe from the exterior of their house looked like they had money and the interior did not. And even if they did have money, money isn't what drove me in relationships and things like that. So that was kind of one of those things of, okay, I'm supposed to look for that though, because that's where I come from in Louisiana. It's supposed to look like a certain way, right? And then I moved to California and I'm like, whoa, okay, so they're all fake. It's all fake exists. It's really out there. There are people that like are full of shit who they are. And there is this thing called, like I said, garage band. And that's like the concept of the guy who he's like, I'm in a band. Yeah, man. Let me show you my MySpace and all that shit. You know, let me prove to you, man. Let me build it up. So in conceptualizing that, I say that for a good ass point. That's why on my channel right here, and wouldn't you agree, I don't hide shit because we're not going to fake this life. It's not
Why
perfect.
should you?
Right.
Should
But
you?
like, let me show you my life, man. This is the best. No, fuck all that. It's actually pretty gross at times, but it's interesting to others. You know? I don't know. I've been thinking, and I don't know. I want the viewers to let us know. And you are welcome to just be a reaction person in this conversation, my dear co-host. Or here's our question. We should talk about like the worst dates, worst situations in the future. Have an episode on
Lord,
relationships or in the bed situations. Funny. If you're down.
Lord.
I'm down. I got some stories and I think it'd be great. It just
might
seems
have to do that on Patreon. I'm just saying.
I'm saying it. You guys need to go follow us. Take a look in the bio. We have
And we are gonna be doing some Patreon shows because, we don't want to get any
More
more ratings.
strikes.
My God.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, the strikes. Like, what's going on here?
Apparently we got to talk more and show less. We understand, YouTube.
Which is crazy because we definitely have the gift of gab.
We're doing fine on that. Like, how rude. You're trying to
Right. So apparently
stretch the bunny.
But
I want to bring up before we close tonight a very important shout out that I really want to make all my listeners aware of. There's a particular channel that Progressive Patriot actually is covering the Savannah Sandoval case, and there have been different ways that her name is pronounced. So if I'm saying it incorrectly, I apologize. But he's basically spearheading the story, and other content creators, which I will be posting below. You guys check out these people I mentioned, but particularly the Progressive Patriot. I want to give him a big shout out. Thank you for your love and support to this channel as well. Hopefully we might have him on as a panel guest, maybe in the future. I hope. But this particular missing person, there's just so much more that we are going to cover in the future. I appreciate him bringing it to light and all the other interesting things. If I were to even begin to explain as he has in relationship to the similarities to the Kylie Rodney case and the Tony Dodge situation, it's just too complicated for me to do all the justice that the Progressive Patriot could. So I encourage you guys to take a look at his channel. Let me please give you a visual, and I will also be adding it to the bio. Where did it go? There it is. Please go check him out. Subscribe to him. He's doing good things, and he also has some fantastic old ass videos, so you should check him out. Plus, I will be linking to his podcast. Please go check that out.
yeah, we'll say the stuff. I mean, I'm not going to speak too much on it, but the stuff going on with Tony Dodge is pretty dodgy. I don't like it, and I'm a little bit. I mean, hey, everybody has their own brain and can form their own opinion, and this is all public stuff. Our listeners should listen out for this. If you have children, you were a child, like, really think about what's going on here.
Right.
And I mean, if you got the time, otherwise just watch our previous shows.
Right. Yes, and honestly, I mean, it comes down to when there are other good content creators out there who are sharing content that's helpful and really does educate the masses, which I think he has a lot of good views, and he's not one-sided, which that's the best part about anybody out here on YouTube who's being real and sharing things about missing people or corruption or just life in general. So, I really think this was an excellent show, my dear. It's a long one. An interestingly deep one
coming up.
Yes.
I may be missing a few episodes because I am in Mercury retrograde, and it's kicking my
You're warning the people.
It's kicking my ass here.
Let's just pray her little spider bite gets smaller and smaller, because it's not very little right now. It's pretty fucked up.
I'm going through some things, man.
For real. Well, in our next episode, we will bring you the next fun things we chat about. But tonight, we're going to bring it to a close. We appreciate all of you listening tonight. Give us a thumbs up. Please hit the subscribe button if you're brand new. And check out all the people I mentioned, and anything we've discussed tonight will be in the bio.
Yes, as always, stay blessed and blessed be.
Have a good night.
Bye.
Bye.